With the coming of Dean Moriarty began the part of my life you could call my life on the road.
This is Sophia Savage with Indiewire, and we are at the AFI Festival for the gala screening of On the Road. We're going to talk to Kirsten Stewart, Garrett Hedlund, director Walter Salles, and more as they come up the red carpet.
With a movie that's supposed to be so impulsive and so not planned out, you want to stumble upon everything. He makes you feel like you can actually do that.
She knew the book better than many other people. She really was the perfect fit from very early on.
You always feel like you want to satisfy someone. He was not satisfied until you had no idea what you were doing. And at the end of the day, you look back and you're like, whoa, I made all these discoveries. I found out so much about myself. Oh, actually, no, Walter showed me.
It was great for all of us to get to see her transform herself into this role and to see everybody, Amy, Adams, and Kirsten, and Vigo, and Sam, and Tom, and everybody just put their heart and soul into it. So that's, it's rare.
We had many casting sessions that didn't lead us anywhere. I couldn't answer. And then suddenly, here in Los Angeles in 2007, this young guy from Minnesota showed up, and it was Garrett Hedlund. And he read for the part, and when he finished reading, there was electricity in the air, and that electricity never dissipated. And I said, okay, so here's the guy.
From the first time that I was to meet with Walter, now it's about something you're so passionate about and having to, put those words to your mouth and be believable. And I think those were some of the most nervous, hours in my life were leading up into that first meeting.
We had that question very present in our minds. Will we find the right Dean, who's the igniter of this journey, and Sal, who is the go-between, the guy who puts that journey into writing, and then it becomes On the Road.
The people that we got to meet along this road were so wonderful. The family members of the actual characters, biographers, writers, poets, musicians, is the role of a lifetime.
Well, it's funny because, Walter and I had done the Motorcycle Diaries together, and I remember I was shopping at Mayfair and the phone rings, and it's Walter, and he says, do you want to do On the Road? I'm like, okay, sure.
I come from Argentina. I read it in Spanish the first time many years ago. So, but yes, of course. I mean, I was affected not only by the book, but by that whole generation.
The first thing I had to do was, in a way, to put the baggage aside, to pretend that it's not on the road, totally ignore it. Because if I had to deal with the weight of that, I don't think I could have written anything. I would have felt so responsible for crushing people's dreams. It is. So yeah. So after a while, just me in the book and the computer and everything else went away.
I think that every time you read the book, you find something new in it. At the very beginning, I was very much in love with the fact that freedom, all forms of freedom, was what those characters were looking for. And then I started to understand that it was about the exhilaration, but also the pain to transition from youth to adulthood. And finally, it's about the search for the last American frontier. Does it exist or not? That's a good question. That's the question that the book asks.
This is Sophia Savage for Indiewire, signing off from the red carpet of On the Road. In the comments below, tell us what your favorite road trip movie is.